we need to appreciate the San Diego Sockers even more. The Sockers' first Friday night home game of the year. Coming up this Friday, it's Military Appreciation Night. That means the first 1,000 fans in the door get a free camo hat via the Sockers. Plus, it's $2 Bud Light Night. That always attracts the crowd. And that brings us to our first guest of the week, soccer midfielder Matt Clare. You can hit him up on Twitter at MattClare6, correct?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for getting a little traffic out there, huh?
Yeah, not bad, but I made it, so I'm here.
Well, just to get it out of the way, the big soccer news of the week was the fact that 1904s hit a little bit of a roadblock.
Yeah.
Do you think, excuse my jaded tone because I've been in this town for 20 years, do you think we're ever going to see an outdoor franchise? And if we do, will it be successful?
I think so. I mean, you know, they're trying to push for a lot. I know Landon Donovan with the Soccer City and trying to get an MLS franchise here. And then to have those guys come in and try and push for, you know, the 1904, not to really be a competitor, but, you know, to always make it exciting to have the MLS and you have the NASL. So if it happens, it happens. If not, I mean, I think there's a good following of soccer fans here that will do whatever they can to try and push it on. And eventually I think there will be a team here, just unsure of what league. The
reason why I think there will be is because I want to show you that, I don't know if you, in your world, if you see this Gallup poll. Gallup just released a poll on the soccer is a rising sport in here in the United States. In fact, it's only 2 percentage points behind baseball as the favorite sport to watch on TV or to watch in person. Millennials and the liberals just love soccer. 55 and older, not so much. But the young fan coming up, big soccer fans, and it's catching baseball in popularity as spectators. Doesn't that is that a sign of the changing demographic in the United States, or is just the sport catching on?
I think if you look at soccer in general, it is the #1 sport in the world as far as popularity goes. But now you're starting to see more of it come to the United States with more soccer-specific stadiums, with more academies for kids to choose from with MLS affiliates. So it makes kids have a little bit more of a drive and a little bit more of an ambition to try and go on and play with the first teams, kind of like the European model. So now it's just kind of fine-tuning those things, and hopefully within the next 10 years, it'll pass baseball and everybody will love soccer. So.
Close in on basketball and football.
Yeah.
So let's get to your team. 9-0 start, correct me if I'm wrong.
9-0, yeah.
You lead the team in scoring, 9 goals, 8 goals?
Second. Craig Charles is first. I'm second.
Of course.
Can't forget Craig.
Yeah, sorry, Craig. Can you talk a little bit about off to a good start?
Yeah, it's been a good year so far. The one thing for me, this is my 3rd year with the Sockers, and I think the one thing that we were missing was structure. And we hired 2 coaches that have really applied that and really bought into the system as to what our coach wants to do, and they're kind of his right-hand man, and everybody has kind of their opinions as to what they want to do with the club and what they want to do with the organization, from the front office all the way down. You know, it's just been fantastic this year with everything, I think, being the motto is we are committed, and everybody from, like I said, from the front office to general managers to coaches to players, everybody's just intrigued by what's going on right now.
All those banners, 15, I believe. 15. So the championship history is well known to everybody who follows the Sockers here in town, and yet there's been this drought now ever since the mergers of the leagues. It's a little tougher to do.
It's been difficult, yeah.
So does that championship pass, does that help? Is that a motivational tool, or now does it become like a monkey on the back that, hey, you got to lower expectations?
I think everybody wants to beat us still, regardless of, you know, when the leagues changed. The PASL, the format was a little bit different, so the level of play wasn't as high as it is now. But, you know, it's trying to get back to that, and everybody comes to San Diego, and everybody wants to play here because obviously the weather is fantastic and the people are great, so the fan base is unbelievable. So it makes everybody, when they come here, want to try and prove a point.
Past few days accepted for
yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about life in the league. I assume all you guys, while you love playing soccer and it's your first love, you all have to hold other jobs, right? Or do most guys have another job?
I would say like 50% do, and then the other 50%. Most of the out-of-town guys, we don't have a job outside of soccer.
So what's life like? Give us a tip. I mean, it's tough road trips. Is it a good life? It's a young man's life.
Yeah, it's a young man's life. It's a good life. I mean, we're fortunate to have the organization that we do and the backing that we do with the ownership group. you can't ever compare anything to the Yankees, but in indoor soccer, they compare us kind of to the Yankees with the most championships and having probably one of the highest budgets. So it makes things better for us. You know, we don't really travel too many times on a bus. Our owner likes to fly. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You're popular on social media. Matt Clare 6, by the way, at Twitter. Yeah. Being an athlete nowadays, do you have to be gifted in the social media arena too, or is that just part of the game now?
I think it's part of the game. I don't think you have to be so much gifted in it, but I think, you know, the generation that we live in, it's kind of unfortunate that everybody's chasing likes and followers, and that's what the main focus for people is, you know. So I try and do it. I try and just keep everybody that's involved in my life kind of, all I post is soccer pictures. I don't post anything personal, so I just try and keep it to that so that my fan base, or whatever you want to call it, can kind of stay in tune with my life just as a soccer player.
You know, I was walking through the newsroom. I'm used to having all the girls turn and look at. Turns out they weren't looking at me. They were looking at you. Now, do you have a model career? Can you turn left?
I can turn left.
Just like a Zoolander? Is modeling in your future?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it, actually. Soccer's kind of been my life. You know, I've done a couple different things with a couple brands, but, you know, you never know. So you never know what can happen when soccer's done. But, I mean, if anybody needs a model, I'll definitely do it.
All right, let's just quickly talk about Friday. It's Military Appreciation Night. The first 1,000 fans in. Now, are those camo hats going to go faster, or are the Bud Lights going to go faster?
That's a good question. $2, you can't really beat that, especially at a sporting event. But it's a good cause, you know. It's for the people that have given a lot to our country and do everything we can to have all the freedoms that we have. So it's a good night to come out to celebrate, and I mean, you get $2 Bud Lights at a sporting event. So
and Tacoma, I mean, that's a good rivalry.
It's a rivalry, yeah. It's I can't think of the exact score when we played them. We played them twice. We beat them both times this year, but the game up there was a lot closer than it was here. I know we had our way with them here, but when we went up there, it was a different story. So I know they're coming back with a vengeance.
All right, well, I'm not going to shake your hand because I can't get you sick. But thank you for coming in. Matt and I are going to Facebook, see our interview at Facebook Live in just a bit. The KUSI News at 6 is next. Stay right with us.